Good morning, everyone. Yes, Sadhna, if you are able to, you have to show your screen and let me know. Is that fine to you? I have some queries, right? Can you share your screen and show me?
Yes, sir. One second.
Okay.
In this data, I just want to aggregate all this field and I want to sum column here. I couldn't do it, so I just ended up to doing into the Excel sheet and then again fetch the data from the Excel. But how we can do into the Power BI, I don't know. I tried so many ways, but I failed.
So you want to sum up all the columns,
Yeah, all the columns. Yeah, at the end.
all the P sales. You no need to, see here, these are all the number fields, right? Correct?
Hmm? Yeah.
Numbers, fulfillment, or else market, supply chain L3.
Mm-hmm.
These are all number fields. So we
Mm-hmm.
cannot, it's not a right idea to create a new column. Okay. The thing is, if we are working on the number, we have to use a measure approach. Okay. So yesterday we discussed a function name called SUMX, correct? In
Yes.
SUMX, you can call the table information, that is the data, comma. So
Mm-hmm.
what are the
Mm-hmm.
fields? Like these are all the fields you can call it there. Like you want to multiply or else you want to add, you want to subtract, you can do that. Okay. So how can we get the new column means? New column, just ignore on the number part. Okay. If you are
Mm-hmm.
working on the categorical data, yes, we
Mm-hmm.
have to generate the new column. In such type of a scenarios, you no need to create any new column. Okay.
So you are
SUMX,
saying we
you can
have
use it.
to
You
create
can use
a
a
measure
SUMX.
for
Measure.
each column.
Exactly. Not required. That's
Sorry,
what I'm
measure
saying.
for it.
Yes. SUMX, comma, data,
Mm-hmm.
data is your table, comma. After
Mm-hmm.
that, you can call these all columns, okay, PE services
Mm-hmm.
and fulfillment L3. You want to
Mm.
add addition only, right? Is that an addition?
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. Is PE services and fulfillment L3 plus PE services and market L3 plus. You can call all the columns and close the bracket. And in the report
Mm.
level, so where I can see the data means you can go to the report level and add the date. Okay, date there. And you can see the
Mm-hmm.
total information. That's it. Simple.
So you are saying over there we can get
Yes.
all the information
Yeah,
by
the
month
same date.
wise.
Exactly. And month level, just to drag and drop the date and you can get the total value of all these fields. Like that you can achieve. Try
You are
this
saying
and share me the PBX file.
okay, yeah, sure, sir. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Still,
Yeah.
maybe if it is a dummy data, you can share it with me. Now I understood. Okay. Still, if you are getting
Okay.
the wrong or else something, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Share me
Yeah.
the
Sure, sir.
snapshot also. Okay.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Fine. I will share my screen.
Yeah. Sure, sir.
Everyone, you are following, right? The concepts. Others, we are currently working on the best practices part. So second example, best practices on the claims data set we are working on. Let me share my screen as well. One second. Let me know once it is visible to you. Hope you're able to see my screen. So see here, we are currently working on another best practices, that is claims data set. Okay. So we are working on the case studies, which they're expecting, like there are some queries. Find the delivery time in number of days for all filled claims. So on this calculation is strictly, okay, in real time, we will not get any hints. So delivery time, which is nothing but a date related. Okay. We cannot perform any aggregations there, like some average, min, max or something. So if you are trying to working on the delivery time in number of days, so here delivery times we need to calculate it for all filled claims. So in such scenarios, we have to make use of calculated column. This calculation is strictly bound to the current row. So row by row calculation, we can achieve it at calculated column, the new column activity only. Okay, the object part. And the second one is find the gross margin for all product claims. So I have showcased you multiple approaches like a method 1, 2, and so on. So method 1, with the help of calculated column, we can achieve it, but it is not suggestible. It's a simple subtraction, right? Collected premium minus total cost, but it is not suggestible. Why? It's going to impact the report performance in real time. Okay, even though it's a number part we are creating, it will impact the backend DAX engine. So that's why we will ignore if there is any number calculation, try to make use of a measure, not a calculated column. And third one, so find the gross margin percentage for all product line. That one we are going to derive it. And before moving on to this, just try to see the differences between a calculated column and the measure. A quick trick to remember the measure. So measures, we can always use the mathematical things like statistical methodology. Number part, if there is any numbers, we are going to make use of new measure concept. Okay. Calculated column, if you are trying to derive some new, okay, you are taking the reference of existing data fields and you are trying to achieve a concatenate, or else maybe you are trying to derive some condition by taking the reference of existing fields in a table, then we can make use of calculated column or new column. Okay. And coming to the differences, which is very, very important on the interview front. So measures is not going to store anywhere. That one we are aware of it. Measures are not going to store in any table. We can move it from one table to the another table. That's what we discussed. Calculated column, it will be get stored in the memory because we are taking the existing column as a reference and deriving it on the same table, right? You're deriving in the same table. So that's why it is going to store in the memory. Measure, see here, calculated on a fly. So the values, right? The total values will be get stored in the form of a cache. Whenever if you are trying to drag and drop onto the reporting canvas, the output, okay, the created output, this particular measure will be reflected at the time of refresh runtime. Okay, report refresh runtime, it has to be calculated. Okay, each and every row by row basis, and output will be get generated. Okay, and memory, as per the memory part, CPU memory, your measure is going to consume. And coming to this calculated column, it will be get stored on the data level. So it is going to consume your memory. Okay, data level memory. And measures is very important line. Usually we can use it if you are performing on any aggregation functionality, we can use a measure. And if you are trying to create row by row value on a table level, we can go with calculated column. Okay. Measure value. Can we see the data on the, I mean, like if you want to see the data of the measure, can we see in the data view for the measures? You created a measure. If you want to see the data or else output of this, is that possible to see the values on the data view? Yes, no. We cannot see, okay? If you are creating a measure, you have to drag and drop it to the reporting canvas. Then only we can see the output of it, okay, as per the calculation that you have been created. But if you are using a calculated column, you can see the value for each and every row. You can see the value on the data tab or as data view. Okay. For always, please remember, if you are working on the calculations, time intelligence functions, aggregation functions, we will always use a measure object. Okay. This calculated column options, right? The majority of the cases we can achieve it in the query editor itself. That's what we discussed in our previous example, like a product category, which we had derived in the previous example. We can derive it in the query editor itself instead of deriving on the DAX object by using a calculated column. Okay. Please remember, if it is a simple calculation and if your data size is very small, so you can use a calculated column, but please remember, if you are working on the number, make sure that it should be a measure only, not a calculated column. Okay. Just to provide us some example, in real time, right? We have to work. Okay, if you are working on the aggregations or also statistical functionalities, we have to make use of a measure only, not a calculated column. Okay. Maximum DAX functions will be get supported by using a measure. Okay. On calculated column, can we use the aggregation functions? If you are using a deriving the calculated column, can we make use of aggregation functions? Yes, no. Don't use it, okay? Even the interview part, if you are getting some such type of questions, no. Simple, here the last example. Here I'm using the aggregation function, something like sum of sales. But here I am not using anything. I'm directly calling the columns from the table. Though it is possible to derive the profit, sales minus cost, I'm not using any aggregation functions, directly calling the columns. Sum of sales minus sum of cost, I'm not using it. Okay, you will get a wrong output. Okay. We know the icons. See here, new column, the icon is table with some extension with the blue color. And for the new measure or calculated measure, the icon is a calculated symbol. Okay. I hope I have shared this yesterday. So simple at a glance. For the categorical data, the number, if it is a calculated column, we can use for the concatenation approach. And for measure, at which scenarios we are going to use. If you want to display the results like a total values, or as maybe if you are trying to calculate the percentages or some ratios, then we can use a measure. Simple. Okay. Yesterday, I have derived large or else small category, right? By taking the reference of product of sales. If product of sales is greater than 5,000, large. And if it is less than that, fail the condition, small. So such type of a conditions we can make use of calculated column. Okay, strictly bound to the row by row calculations. Last one. So see here. Find the gross margin percentage for all product lines. So here I have asked you to use the variable approach. Okay, I will tell you the what is the variable, how can we derive with the help of a variable. And here the hint they're providing to calculate the gross margin is gross margin divided by collected premium. Okay, gross margin percentage. To calculate the gross margin percentage, gross margin divided by collected premium. That is the formula. Okay. So see here, gross margin we already calculated. So in this, which one is the best approach? Is that a calculated column or is a margin M? Margin underscore M2. Which one is the best approach? You can tell me. So this is the one. The first one is gross margin underscore CC. Calculated column. Not using any aggregations. Directly calling the table along with the columns. And this new column will be get generated here. You can see the new column values too. But it is not suggestible. Please remember. Because it's a number. It's deriving the row by row calculation. Each and every row until the data end, I can see the values. Got it? Another method which I have derived by using gross margin underscore M. So which is nothing but I have created some sub calculations, sub measures, that is for total collected premium. I have created one measure which is nothing but sum of claims collected premium and total cost, another measure. Okay, total cost is equal to sum of claims table total cost. So after that, after generating these two submeasures, I have used calculated for the gross margin underscore M. I'm directly calling that measures. See here, total collected premium minus total cost. This is the value. Okay. So I have created some submeasures for each and every field, and I can make use of the gross margin, okay, to derive it as an output, like a total collected premium minus total cost, the total values subtracted. Another approach, see here, this one. Here, gross margin underscore M2, SUMX, I'm directly calling the table function X. What is this X stands for? X stands for iterator function, iterating on the complete table. Okay, X stands for iterator function. Here I'm calling the table information table, comma. So we have to specify the column. So here my expression is collected premium minus total cost. So I don't need to use again the sum of the total, that's collected premium, minus sum of my total cost. Is complete on the table, the SUMX, which is going to work on the complete table function. Okay, you no need to call individually again inside of the expression part. Okay, this collected premium we are subtracting here, collected premium minus total cost. It will work on the complete table. So this is our output. You are not calling any submeasures, you are directly calling the one function, tax function, that is SUMX. And inside the function, we are calling the complete table on those required fields as an expression. Collected premium minus total cost. This is your output. I hope you got the clarity. Everyone, is that clear? Is that clear to everyone? Shall we derive this gross margin percentage now? Now you can, someone will please tell me how can we derive it? Percentage calculations. Can we use, I already given the hint to you, gross margin percentage. Shall we use this gross margin as a calculated column or as a measure? You can tell me. Gross margin percentage by using a calculated column or as a measure. I can derive it. See here, with the help of calculated column also possible. But there is going to be an wrong values. Okay, I'll just try to show you now. You can decide. See here, gross margin, GM percentage, CC, calculated column. So what is the formula I said? Gross margin, okay, gross margin divided by collected premium. So it is deriving on each and every row. Maybe if you can try to throw it on the report level, we'll see the result. Let me drag and drop the product claims. It's converting to some different chart, okay? See here, percentage is more than 155.41. That's fine. 83, 239.72. Okay, is this the right percentages? You can tell me. Suppose I'm not getting any percentage yet. Suppose if you can try to multiply. Okay, so I have to define the percentages, right? It's still a sum of gross margin. I want to define it as a percentage. Correct? Suppose I'm selecting this column, multiplying with the percentage. Okay, I just want to display the percentages for each and every category. So I'm just trying to multiply with 100. Okay, percentage is nothing but is going to multiply your calculation with 100. Multiply. So is this values are fine? Is this the right percentages? You can tell. So I have used a calculated column. On the top of it, as per the formula, gross margin divided by collected premium. On the top of it, I have multiplied with the 100. So percentage is nothing but multiplying with 100. So is this percentage looks fine? You have to tell. As a developer, we have to think. If you are using a calculated column, this is the output, which is completely wrong. Okay, you cannot have 15,540.83 percentage. Maybe if it is nearby 100 or else more than 110 or else 120 is acceptable. Okay, if you are multiplying with 100. But this complete value which we are showcasing is incorrect, not the right matrix. Fine, let me showcase with an example. So see here, to get derive this gross margin percentage, again, it's a number. We are playing with the numbers. So we have to make use of new measure concept only, not a calculated column. So let's try to derive it. New measure, select the new measure, gross margin percentage, M. Already derived this gross margin, right? I will make use of this gross margin, M2. M2 is the best approach. That's what we discussed. Divided by collected premium. Okay, it's again a measure. Validate it. So instead of using this operator, right? Here you are observing some operator. You're seeing the operator, right? See this. It's an operator. Slash is an operator. Maybe sometimes, right, my numerator or else the denominator is no value. It will throw an error. Division by 0 error. To avoid that value, instead of using this operator, I have a dedicated function name called divide function. So on the top of it, before starting this measure, I will start working with divide. Okay, numerator is gross margin into and denominator is total collected premium. So why you are using this divide function means just now I conveyed, right? It's a safe. Maybe if there is any division by 0 errors, we will not get the output of like infinity values or something. Okay, like unwanted informations. So to avoid this division by 0 errors, we can make use of divide function instead of an operator slash. Okay, I'll just try to make use of numerator is gross margin underscore M2 and denominator is total collected premium. Validate it. Make use of it in your reporting part. Here. And try to multiply with 100. So as of now, 0.70, 0.40, 0.31. You don't need to multiply again. The common mistakes here, people will be get divide or else multiply with 100. No need to do this into 100. Okay. If you want to perform this calculation right, we have already a percentage icon. See here. Select your measure. We have an option name called try to multiply with 100, display the values with a percentage symbol. So that means multiply with 100. Just try to use it, select it. That's it. Understood? Is these values are acceptable, which you are observing? Sum of gross margin underscore CC, gross margin percentage underscore M. Is this values are acceptable? You have to decide. You able to see the values? Is this values are realistic or else still do you have any concerns? Can you hear everyone? Everyone, can you hear me? Yes, there is some negative values are there. Maybe the printers, TV related, negative information is available. Negative percentage wise, there are negative sales. So that's why we are projecting it as an printer and TV is having the negative. Gross margin for the remaining categories like a microwave, PlayStation, they have some edge profit with some percentage. Correct? So instead of believing this 23,972, this is the percentage. 106.07 is the percentage. Negative. And even for the printer, there is a negative 99.22 percentage because there is negative sales. Gross margin wise after total collected premium minus, that is the calculation we have used. Minus total cost is deriving the negative. So that's why for printer and TV, we are getting the negative percentages. Okay. Clear? Everyone? Fine. I will tell you one more approach, okay, to calculate directly this gross margin percentage. Okay, one more approach directly to calculate this gross margin percentage. So if you are observing this gross margin percentage underscore M, see here, this is very, very important functionality. Gross margin percentage underscore M. So do you agree these are all sub measures? Gross margin M2 I have calculated, total collected premium I have calculated. Correct? Is that correct? I have created sub measures and I'm trying to make use of to calculate gross margin percentage. Correct? So instead of creating these sub measures, gross margin M2 and total collected premium, directly with a direct functionality, we can use, okay, we can create gross margin percentage. There is one more functionality to achieve this percentage calculations. That means we can get rid of the sub measures which we have created, that is gross margin M2 and total collected premium. We can derive the gross margin percentage in one single measure. Understood or not clear? Please tell me. Gross margin percentage M2. See, this is the value, right? You are using the sub measures. You have created gross margin M2 and gross margin, total collected premium. So instead of that, we can achieve this requirement, gross margin percentage, in one single functionality by using DAX. Okay. Shall we achieve it? Shall we do that? So this is one approach, okay. By creating the sub measures and I can calculate gross margin percentage. Without creating the gross margin M2 and total collected premium, the sub measures we can achieve our percentage calculations too. How? Please focus, important. Giving the name as gross margin percentage, where. So here I'm going to use the variable concept. So variable, the output within the same measure, the output of the value will be get stored in a variable, like a storage, okay, a kind of a static field which you are going to store some value. Okay, see here, where I'm creating a variable here. So assume that you haven't created any sub measures, you directly calculating the gross margin percentage. Okay, I'm creating the variable functionality. Okay, first I need to calculate gross margin. Okay, gross margin value. We know, right? Gross margin. Gross margin. See here, the colors are getting different. For the name of the measure, it's a black. If you are creating the variable where with a blue color and the grass margin, see here, grass margin, you don't need to provide any space separator, space. Okay, it will not accept grass margin is equal to. So what is the formula for the grass margin? Can someone please help me? How can we achieve this grass margin? Assume that you haven't created any submeasures. We are directly creating the grass margin percentage. Okay, think like that. So what is the calculation to get this grass margin? That's the query. Which function we can use it? Can someone please help? Responses, please. We already discussed the M2 method, right? You can tell that method. SUMX, claims table, comma, expression is collected premium minus total cost. Okay. So this particular output, SUMX, this value, it will be get stored in this variable, gross margin. Okay. To calculate the gross margin percentage, I'm trying to derive the gross margin here, and the value will be get stored in this. Another one, total collected premium is the another one. So I will try to call one more variable, whereof total collected premium. Don't provide any space if you are creating the variable. Okay. Is equal to sum of collected premium. Close the bracket. So here the output, what you are expecting, we're expecting to get created the gross margin percentage. So return is the DAX function, is a keyword, DAX functional keyword. Okay. So here we are going to call the gross margin percentage calculation, that is divide. Numerator is you have to call directly the variables. You don't need to call again these submeasures. You can directly call this variables, gross margin. See here the variable gross margin X stands for the functionality part. X bracket in the score X stands for gross margin, which is nothing but a variable. Try to call it, comma, collected premium, total collected premium. Close the bracket. Validate it. Validate. And try to call this gross margin percentage where on your reporting canvas. Just try to drag and drop. Multiply with 100 percentage. Is this both are same or else completely different? You have to tell. Is that a gross margin percentage underscore M? Gross margin percentage where? Is that both are matching or else do you feel like something different? Both are same. So the purpose of creating this variable, it stores the value. Okay, it will get rid of some submeasures. That's the main agenda. Okay, you no need to call the submeasures. Like first you have to calculate the gross margin and try to calculate the total collected premium and make use of the calculation for the gross margin percentage. We can directly call those submeasure values in main. Okay, by creating the variable, we can get it stored. And the functionality part and the return part level, we can call the what we are expecting. So here the return statement, divide gross margin, comma, total collected premium. So we are expecting the percentage. So that is my return statement. Before return statement, the calculation, the submeasure calculations I'm trying to call. And the values, right? Both of my gross margin and the collected premium, it will get stored on the variable. Okay. So on the interviews part, you will get a question something like, can we reuse the variables on another DAX function, another measures or else another DAX part? No, we cannot reuse the variables on new measure calculations. So this new measure, so these variables, right? These two are variables. We cannot reuse the variables on while creating the new measures. We can reuse only the measure only. I can reuse this measure, gross margin percentage where I can reuse the measured one, new calculation, new measure, but I cannot reuse variables. It should be on same measure only. Okay. We can reuse them. I mean, we can use the measures within the same measure. Okay. Everyone, is that clear? Now you can tell me which one is the best approach to calculate the gross margin percentage. Is that by using gross margin percentage submeasures or by using gross margin percentage variable concept? The best approach, I mean, like as per the performance sprint, we have to decide which one is the best one. So, I mean, it's a very simple question. So we are ignoring the submeasures here. We are not calling any submeasure calculation. You are directly calling these calculations inside one single measure. So the best approach is with the help of variable concept, we can achieve it. Suppose your requirement is directly calculating the percentage. Okay, if your requirement is direct calculation of percentage, we can create a variable concept. Otherwise, you can go with this approach, gross margin percentage. Yeah. Okay. Don't go with this. Okay. It's a completely wrong approach. You can see the wrong result. Okay. So that is a part of best practices on modeling level DAX. Okay. By using a scenario claims dataset. Do you have any queries, concerns, or else any questions? Please tell me. Everyone has got a clarity, right? Variable method. What is a variable method? What is a sub-measure approach? Still any confusions? Responses, please. Any confusions? Good. If you have any queries, right, you have to practice this and then let me know. Otherwise, I mean, just observation part, it will not work. Maybe Friday, right? Coming Friday, next day before. Any one of you have to share your screen. Okay, share your screen and do a practice. Expecting some volunteer. Okay, you have to share your screen, extract the data set, open this. Okay, and try to work on this. Find the delivery time. I mean, maybe whoever interested, right? Share your screen and let me know. Okay, someone has to do a practice hands-on so that it will be helpful to others too. So why you have used a variable concept means it is readable code. Okay, it is very simple to write. And also we can get rid of the sub-measure concepts there. We no need to create the sub-calculations. Okay, that's why I have created variable approach. And variables, we can use it on new measure, new calculations. No, we cannot use the variable approach on new calculations. Within the same measure, we have to use the variables. I have a query. Can someone please answer? Can I reuse the measures on new calculations? Can I reuse the measures? Yes or no? Measures, can you reuse it? Yes. Okay. Variables, no. Please remember. Fine. So let's try to build a quick visualizations too by using this data set. Okay. I mean, claims report development, we can start building one quick report building. I'm taking a fresh page, page 3, calling this as an, I mean, instead of a pastry, right? Claims report. First, I need to call very important metrics. So in this data set, very important metrics numbers are collected premium is one of the important metric. Total claim cost. Okay, climb cost. Total cost is there. Total climb cost is there. Total climb cost is another important metric. Okay, so I will call all the very important metrics in the form of a card visualization, card visual. So try to create it. See here, I'm creating a new development. Okay, assume that. Okay, best practices is over. Let's try to create a visualization. Let's try to project in the form of visual representation. So how it looks like. See here, total collected premium, which you already created. Just try to drag and drop. It's a card. It's a card number. And the first activity, whenever if I'm trying to build a visualization, right, I will do the cosmetic changes on this first card visual. Cosmetic changes in the sense, reduce the font and change the font type. Okay, if it is a projecting as a header title of this, I can try to project it as a title. Okay, try to give some shadow effects. These are all cosmetic changes. So to get this done, I will try to make use of format here. Here, add to your visual, more option. There is a small painter icon is there right below. There's nothing but a cosmetic changes level formatting options. More options so that you can see the format here. Tab. So first one is I will try to reduce the font of it. Regularly in real time, the fonts we will use it in the form of either Arial format or COGUI format. COGUI. So currently I'm going to use Arial format, Arial with 25. Okay. And display units, as of now, it is an auto K. I will try to generate the full value. That is the, instead of any units, right? I'm just trying to ignore the units, 1,000 or else a million value. So I want to project it as a none units. Okay. Try to add comma separator so that it looks good. Select your measure. Use the 1,000 separator. Okay. Select it. This is the value. Okay. Still some more cosmetic changes on this card. Please focus. Size and style. So here, size and style. Visual border. For this, I'm just trying to use a light gray color instead of a black color, right? Border. I will try to make use of light gray color. Visual border here. Okay. And instead of a rectangle, you're seeing something like a rectangle whenever I'm trying to unhook, right? Rectangle border. Try to give it cross, okay, slight curvy edges. Select your card visualization. Here, visual border. Here we can try to give the rounded corner. That is nothing but a curvy edges. 10. So that it looks good. First card, okay. And maybe if you are interested to provide a shadow kind of an effect, the kind of a back reflection, select your visual, size and style here. Enable the shadow. Okay. So instead of a light, okay, still something like a very dark background, try to use a light colors. Okay. Light color. Go to the again shadow. Instead of a black, try to use the gray so that it looks good. So this is the first card I have designed. Is that clear to everyone? The first card. Is that clear? So we are trying to design a report now. Okay, instead of going back to the manufacturing project, let's try to complete a quick report development by using Climstream. Okay. So I'm just trying to add a card, and on the top of it, the created measure, on the top of it, I'm using some cosmetic or else some changes. Okay, I'm adding some colors and the background change, and also the changing the font of it. These activities I'm performing on this, the first card. Save it. Next one. Okay, one more card. See here, instead of taking the new card visual like this, and design the same, okay, some more, again, the cosmetic changes and so on. What we will do in the sense, we just try to use the copy paste method. Control C, Control V. Okay. Just trying to make use of the copy paste and trying to align in a proper order. See here, the red dotted lines. Okay. So here in this particular card, I will try to call another measure, not the total collected premium, another measure. Try to call total cost. Use the comma separator. Comma separator. Okay. Sorry. 1 second. Is that simple, right? Everyone following, or else any doubts or else something? Just trying to copy paste those cards only. Okay. Total cost. Another card, let's try to derive by using gross margin M2. We already created gross margin M2. And the last card I will try to make use of for the percentage. Gross margin percentage. Okay, overall percentage. Clear? Up to these 4 cards, any queries, concerns, please let me know. These 4 cards. You no need to create card by card again and again. You can just use the copy paste. We know, right? Control C, Control V. Okay, like this. Everyone following, or else any queries on this? It depends. Okay, maybe you are getting 2 commas there. Can you place the, I mean, as per the locally settings, the comma separated will be defined. So is that a USA format, or else maybe you have to just check and confirm me Indian format? I mean, regional settings. If it is an Indian regional settings, you can get the 5 after the comma. If you're following with the USA regional settings, you can get after 583 the comma separator. Which regional settings you are following? Based on that, the comma separator will be activated. Okay. Gaurav, clear? Just check and confirm. Fine. Next, visualization. So see here, I'm taking a bar chart, okay? That means a clustered, or else maybe clustered, or 1 second. We'll take a normal stack column chart, that's fine. No need to go for clustered, because only the metrics, right? See here, I'm just trying to align also. So I'm just trying to align the border on the next visual. Don't add it on the next or else something. Just try to align all the cards, okay, within the same front page, okay? So here on this part, x-axis, I will try to generate number of years, okay, based on the claim date, x-axis. And y-axis, I will try to add all the above metrics. These are all metrics except gross margin, where I will add the 3 metrics as a stacked kind of an item. I mean, within a single bar, each and every single bar, I want to showcase total collected premium, total cost, how much it is, and gross margin, how much. Okay, each and every bar, okay, I want to stack up all the categories, all the numbers into one single item. How can we do that? First of all, on the x-axis, you have to define the years. So I don't have any date here. I mean like a date table. Only the claims table is available. Can someone please help me? I'm going to take the reference of the claim date column from that claims table. I want to generate a new date table. How can we do that? Are we going to import it, or else is there any approach by using DAX? You have to tell this. I don't have any date field like to generate on my x-axis year. I have only the client data set. So I'm giving a hint to you. You have to take the reference of the client date, generate a date, new table, and try to call the date, I mean, x-axis, the year on your visualization. How to do that? Which object? Is that a new column, or else a new measure, or else a new table, or quick measure? So these are the objects that we have. So here, new table, I'm not using any claim date, existing field. I'm trying to derive the new table, calling it as an date is equal to calendar. See here, calendar function, we can specify the start date and end date. We have to manually specify what is the starting date of it, which is the end date by using the first date and the last date functions. There is one more function without passing any parameters. There is one more function name called calendar auto. So what this calendar auto will do in the sense, it will scan your complete model, scan it. Okay, as of now, I have only one table, no need to scan, only one table it is going to scan. So from the table, claims table, it will try to fetch the lowest date and the highest date. So in my claims table, I have two fields. One is delivery date is there, another one is the claim date is there. From that, it is going to scan the lowest date. So which one is the lowest, it will try to check, and also the highest date, maximum date of it. Just try to close the bracket, that's it. You don't need to pass any parameters inside of this. So calendar function, it will perform, is going to scan this table, claims table, is going to scan wherever there is a date field is available, it scans the claims date to get the lowest. Whether it is available here, it will scan and try to get the lowest date or delivery date. So both of the columns it's going to scan. Suppose if I have a more than 5 tables and each and every table is having the date field. So if I can use the calendar auto function, is that going to be an impact to my performance of my report? Is that going to be an impact, right? Suppose I have a 5 different tables. Each and every table is having a date field. Like a start date is one table, and one more table is claim date, and one more table is end date. So if I'm using the calendar auto, is going to scan each and every table. So which is going to impact my report performance. Do you agree with the statement? Yes or no? If you are using a calendar auto, automatically scans all the tables on your existing model. As of now, I have one table, it's going to scan these two fields, delivery date and the claim date. If I have a 5 different fields, it is going to scan all 5 different fields to get the lowest date and the highest date. So most of the time in real time scenarios, we will not use this calendar auto. If you are working with 1 or 2 tables, okay, agree. But if you are working on very big models, model building, if you are creating a date table, don't use this calendar auto. Okay, we can make use of calendar function directly. I mean, previous example, I have showcased you how to create a calendar, how to make use of start date and end date parameters. Okay, in this example, I'm going with the calendar auto. Got it? And after that, you know how to split the values, right? From this date, you have to split the year, you have to split the month, you have to split the month number, month name, quarter. You know that, right? I'm not creating again. It's a hands-on to you. You have to perform that activity. Is that okay? Fine. I'll just try to show you one example. Okay, new column, and then I will stop. Here, you know this on the previous vote data feed I have created. Directly, you can call the date. So year, right? What is the function? Year is equal to year is the function. Call this date table date call. Close the bracket. Validate it. So we have from 2010 to 2018 data. So try to call this. So on your x-axis, try to call date table here. On y-axis, try to call the measures which you already created. That is collected premium, total cost, and gross margin 2. And try to add the data labels. Try to enable the data labels. You can tell me, is this values looks good? Is that the right values? Why? Why it is not right values? Quickly, please, because you haven't created any relationships. You forget to create a relationship. Okay. Don't do this mistakes in real time. Just try to drag and drop and provide a relationship to climb days to this date, not the year. Okay. Now you can see the values. Got it? And one more visualization. So maybe you can align these legend part. This is the legend. So as I said, stacked column is nothing but you are trying to stack all this number field into one single bar. That's what I said. So you're not using the group. You are trying to stack the all these measures, total collected premium, total cost, gross margin in one, all together in one single bar. Okay. Let's try to derive one more visualization. One more. So based on state-wise, I'm going to derive state. I'm using an shape map here. State. We already aware why you are using the state map. Because see here, I can make use of a normal map as well. Okay, normal map. So instead of showcasing other countries, see here, other countries and continents, my data points are located in one particular country, United States, right? I can visualize this particular states only. I don't want to showcase other countries and continent. In that such type of a scenarios, we can use shape map. Here it is. Okay, just try to come. So I cannot navigate to other maps, other countries or else other continents. These are the states which has been located. Got it? And try to add, instead of the same color, try to make use of gross margin value. Okay, for differentiation, the color differentiation. Okay, the data saturation as per the values, we have just added this. Color saturation is based on gross margin. Okay. So here on the top of it, to my customer to slice and dice data based on some categorical info. I will try to add some slices. So I will take a slicer chart, and try to add some fields. We have some categorical fields, right? Like we have a delivery company. So instead of a list, right? This is the list format. See this. This is the list kind of an approach. I will try to make use of a drop down. Make use of the slicer settings, not a vertical list. Use a drop down approach so that it's good. And also we will get some good space. See here. I can just try to select one of the company FedEx, the delivery company. My values will be get changed as per the delivery company which have been selected. So for my user, the business user, to slice and dice data based on some categorical info, I'm using some slicer charts at the top. Try to add few more. Okay. If this one is not a delivery, I will try to add one more field. That is product line. Product line. Another field, try to add state or else a city. Categorical. Okay. Everyone following, right? Try to do some cosmetic changes. If time, I'm just trying to do the cosmetic changes on this slicer. Please focus. Cosmetic changes in the sense that means adding some color change and as well as some kind of a background effects and so on. Okay. Light backgrounds I'm using with rounded edge and shadow with light gray color. Use the format painter. That's it. Okay. And try to align these, okay, these particular three slices in proper order. Three slices only, right? So here we have a huge space, here we have less space. Select all by using control button, control button. Here we have an option, right? So let me showcase that option too. Format, align horizontally. So I'm trying to align these slices on horizontal so that we will get the equal space. Okay. And these cards too. Try to align these slices with equal space horizontally. Use the control button, select all four cards. Format, alignment is not an any like a left or else a right alignment. It's a distribute horizontal. So we want to distribute with each and every other bar or else other chart, the card visualization with equal space, distribute horizontal. Okay, save it and just try to share this report to some business. Okay, in this way, we are going to prepare the report develop. Once the measures and all as per this, right? As per the questionnaires that we have received, once it get done, we have to prepare this visualization and share this report to the customers. Not by using Power BI Desktop, by using another environment name called Power BI Services. That one we are aware of. Is that clear? Is that okay? Looks good? Any questions on this? Please let me know. Tomorrow, we will get started with our manufacturing project report design. Okay, manufacturing project we stopped right in the middle as we have to get to know awareness about the calculated column and measures. I stopped it, correct, after data transformations. Tomorrow, we can start working on the report design. Okay, manufacturing project report design. Fine. Try to complete it and let me know if you have any questions. Please rise and let me know. If you have any questions, please raise your hand now and let me know. Everyone following or else do you feel like you are following? I mean, you are going very fast or else something. Everyone try to respond in the chat. Responses please in the chat. Is that flow is okay to you or else you want me to go still slow or else you want? some more repetition, something like that. Okay, but thanks for the feedback here, Vic. Fine. Thanks for joining. We'll connect tomorrow. Try to complete this exercise. Share your snapshots and let me know if there is any queries on the top. Okay. Thanks for joining. Have a nice day. Bye.